All right, welcome SpeedGaming. We have some more Link to the Past league matches in the playoffs. Despite what it says, it's not the player's courage. This is a game 4, so go ahead and type $mode in the chat if you don't know what the settings are. My name is Tracy M. With me today is Nihon Tiger. How you doing, Nihon?
Doing well, Tracy. Good to be here calling this match between these two. This is
And sorry, this is game 5.
I
misspoke. It's game 5, so this is winner take all.
Right. So this is for all of the marbles between Pug Trio and 2019 Titan Smiths at 2019. Obviously, Pug Trio running WeightyWords on the left side there, and Titan Smiths running SailorNep on the right side. And
two very good runners. We're going to see some really good play here. I expect and hope. Of course, things get really weird when we have the full-on Randomizer, both the enemy shuffle and the boss. And, we're doing a standard mode here. And we get a small key to Skullwood, one of the most useless small keys we can possibly get. Does help with routing, but right now they're not thinking about that. Right now they're thinking about doing the escape, which in Randomizer can be the toughest thing in the entire seed sometimes.
Yeah, it's going to be fast Ganon, so it will be very interesting to see if that leads to any different decisions on the routing choices here. And of course, the winner of this will play Error 216 in the division finals. So there's a playoff spot in the next round. This is game 5, so that makes sense, right?
And just to be clear, for those of you who may not be used to this setting, they do get the sword when they go past the uncle. But the uncle gives them a different item as well. So they can't use the sword until then, but now they have the sword.
Yes.
And 50 rupees and a heart piece. And WeightyWords, the first one to get into the castle. And SailorNep playing with some palette shuffle there.
Yeah, this is always going to be interesting. Mostly at this part, the actual getting to the back, getting Zelda, and getting out to the sanctuary, all fairly academic here. Fairly easy for our runners to do this, unless probably
normally it's pretty
dozens
easy.
and dozens of times.
Normally it's pretty easy, but this is Randomizer.
Yes, I was just about to mention this is Randomizer, so that's what's going to throw a little wrench in these plans because we don't know quite what to expect going forward.
And we do see bombs in the first chest, and normally that's something that runners want to search for, is to get bombs. And we already, and in Randomizer, you got all sorts of choices of prize packs, so really hard to really figure out what you might want to kill to get those bomb drops. So it's nice that they got those in a chest.
Right, and we're going to have our. Normally it would be a guard here, so it's a Stalfos, and then on the right here would be a blue guard that has a key, and it will be a Helmasaur instead. And you get another key. Small key to this dungeon. Always nice to see.
Well, they have to have one small key to this dungeon somewhere in here. Because they have to be able to get out.
Correct.
Okay, we get down to the bottom here. So far, this has been a really kind escape. No rollers, no pokies.
Oh, yeah. And of course, the ball and chain guard being a Baronade instead. No. A lot nicer. Hey, and there's a glove.
Nice gloves. One of those required items.
And the other nice thing too is if they probably will keep those 3 bombs. If they can, then they'll be able to get to the triple chest in the escape as well.
Yeah, I can't see a reason to use all 3 bombs before that.
Yeah,
with the sword.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was thinking as well. But you never know what kind of strange situations you might run into.
Yeah, this is a downright boring escape Randomizer. This is nothing interesting, nothing hard. May my next time I get a mystery seed with this kind of Randomizer setup be this easy. Of course, we're gonna get to the back of escape. Maybe that'll be a little bit harder.
Yeah, I'm like, can I just get this kind set up from now on forever?
Like usually this is easier than usual. Usually it's much harder than usual. I mean, even the thief is sitting there on top. It's not gonna bother them.
Right. And of course, since it's a standard, even though they don't have the lamp, they will have the light cone going through here. Just a little quality of life thing that was added a while back because
well,
it's really hard when you're a new runner. You know, and you get in a situation like that, you don't have the lamp. It's very difficult.
Originally, you actually had the lamp or the light cone in all the light world. I don't know why that was originally the way they did it. I don't know if that was a programming issue or just a quality of life issue. And then wasn't until the dark world that you didn't get the lamp light cone. Oh, WeightyWords taking it down. See, okay, this is what I was talking about. This is the hard for all the enemies decide to go to the back of escape, including a BMOS that got WeightyWords there.
Oh yeah, there's a BMOS and a whole bunch of nasty things in the back here. And SailorNep getting through okay.
But anyway, back to what I was saying. I don't know when what version changed it so that you only got the light cone in the castle, not in the rest of the light world dungeons. Which I guess is just Eastern. And, of course, rescuing the old man. Lots of guards to walk through there. Okay, now he's ready for the BMOS. There we go.
Yep. And the Stalfos Knight there as well in the dark room where you pick that key up. So, ooh, now we're starting to get mean with the Randomizer.
In the back we have piece of heart, 20 rupees, and a hook shot is really nice. And I like Nep's choice to just walk back out the bottom, saves the bomb she has left. I don't know what she used the other bomb for, but she used it somewhere because she got one left.
Yeah, she used it to kill the Pen Gator.
Ah. Yeah, those Pen Gators are very difficult to kill with just a fighter sword, so yeah, I can see that. And one of those yellow spiky things that seems to show up everywhere in Randomizer. Now let's see if there's anything in this last chest.
Nope.
Just 20 rupees. Although that's a pretty good amount if the runners need to buy bombs. With all the rupees that are loose in pots in Kakariko, they should have enough to both pay off the bottle vendor and buy some bombs.
Yeah, I would think so. I was going to say 111 is enough to get the bottle vendor, but now probably with what you can find in Kakariko, just with the loose stuff, probably enough to get both.
All right, and SailorNep going to go ahead, and it looks like she's going to check the lumberjack. Maybe do a tree pull here. Not a very good tree pull, just some single rupees. Bush grab just dropping some arrows. That's not very interesting.
Yeah. And let's see what we've got here on the ledge. Ooh, it's a big key.
Okay, it's a big key to something. Could be an important big key, could be a useless big key. There are two big keys, two dungeons that don't need the big key at all, logic or otherwise. Those would be Swamp Palace and Skull Woods. There are two other dungeons that you can beat without having the big key, Ice Palace and Tower of Hera, though the caveat would be that for Tower of Hera you would have to have the hook shot, which these runners do have, in order to do the Hera pot trick.
Absolutely correct. And of course, for everything else, we need the big key to get to the back. So,
yep, hard required for every other dungeon.
Yep.
So yeah, it might be a while before anyone makes a play over to do Castle Tower, because we just don't know. We won't know for a while whether that could be the important big key. Could be the GT big key, which of course is very important. Actually, I take it back. We're probably doing fast cannon. We don't care if it's a GT big key. But yeah, this we'll need. And SailorNep picking up a fish. This will give her a whole bunch of goodies from the bottle vendor. Give her some rupees, some bombs. Most importantly, those bombs. WeightyWords just can go straight into Blind's hut. Small key to Turtle Rock. We'll need those. Piece of heart. A cape. which of course gets people immediately thinking of Aga. And a Master Sword, which is more thinking of Aga.
Mm-hmm. We both found a Master Sword, actually, so there's 2 sword upgrades in this village.
Honestly, when there's an item sitting on the lumberjack that's kind of iffy as to whether you might need it or not, I don't mind doing Aga for Dark World access, because then you can just do it. You don't have to worry. You can just get that item, and if it turns out to be nothing, then it's not that big a deal.
That's a good point, Tracy. And now we'll probably see them both pick up their tempered swords here.
Wow. 3 swords that quickly.
Not always a good sign. And just to kind of give a very quick recap of what these 2 teams did previously, they played in week 6 of the regular season, and it was a 2-0 sweep for Pug Trio between them. So that was week 6 was a pretty tough week.
All Dungeons Key Sanity.
Yep. But definitely Titan Smith's looking for a little measure of revenge here, trying to knock out Pug Trio.
And the chicken hut becomes the thieves' hut.
Yep. And also worth mentioning, in their division, the Kakariko division, all 3 of the teams that qualified were within 3 points of each other.
It was a very close division.
Very close division. These were 3, but they were definitely probably the 3 best teams in the division, and it was a very, very tough division as well.
And we see a compass to Skull Woods. Compasses are kind of nice to keep track of how many items that you've gotten, but definitely not needed for anything. Was that a hammer?
I think it was. I'll have to check again. I'm sure Nep will go in there in a
guess if that's the case, I guess we need boots.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the hammer on the ledge.
It looked like a hammer. It was just so quick that I was like, I had to do a double take. Let's see what.
That's one of the things sometimes that's a little difficult.
That is definitely a hammer. Well, I was ready for it this time. I think we both were.
Yes, one of the things sometimes that makes it a little difficult is these runners. They're so efficient and so good at checking like location items that they'll just dip in and out, and they'll see it, but we won't.
And they're ready for it too, because they're ones not to do it. So this is looking very much like an Agassiz with that hammer. If we don't find boots before we run out of places, and it might be a while before we get that hammer.
Yeah, we've got to find boots. We got to find pearl still. There's still some items on the Dark World access checklist to be hunting down.
We need those mitts too. That would give. Oh, there's that moon pearl. Although I guess I doubt this would happen, but it could theoretically happen if we had the right layout. With this being a fast Ganon seed, if Ice, Mire, and Turtle Rock were all pendants, you don't actually need the mitts necessarily. Now, I don't expect that to happen here. I would be, in fact, quite shocked if it did.
Yeah, I would be shocked too.
Yeah, put that under the theoretical possibilities that can happen with some of the weird settings that we use.
And we're seeing Weighty go ahead and use those sword beams very effectively, actually, in the Mini Moldorm Cave.
Oh, sword beams are great for Mini Moldorm.
Yes.
And we see a map to swamp, so at least we've got a map that actually tells us something useful. And a map that tells us nothing useful. Because we won't know our crystals and pendants until either we beat the boss, check the map with maps that we have, or we will find out the green pendant and the red crystals from Saha and the bomb vendor, respectively.
Small key to Dark Palace and Nagina's Cave, though. So, Nep making a side journey over there to go check that first. I always kind of like that play if you can make it and route it in carefully. It's not a bad decision to make. That's just one of those locations. Otherwise, it gets checked way late sometimes, and
and of course,
there's like junk there, or it's like something you absolutely need.
Yeah, and of course, this pod small key being, if pod is a crystal, will be logically required, but you can, using different shenanigans, full clear pod with just 4 small keys.
Ooh,
a book.
Literacy, yes. The Book of Medora there in the Ice Rock Cave.
Yeah, if you're gonna get a book, get it early.
Yeah,
Late books are just horrible because by the time you get it, it's like, okay, I have to go all the way up to Ether tab or all the way down to Bombos tab, and it's just very hard to route those things in. Whereas you get it early, not so bad. Gets you desert access, and there might and for WeightyWords that could get them over to the desert area quicker, depending on how important that pod small key becomes. That could matter.
He's doing some fake flippering setups here to get that. Oh, that's a little difficult. I just got to get it so that it hits on the transition there, and he's good to go.
Does a good job out racing the hard hat beetle there. Looks like he's just going to do the hobo. No money for Zora, so even though Zora is in logic, doesn't.
So yeah, one of the
doesn't want to do. Probably doesn't want to do the rest of the Zora area unless you can full clear the area, especially since the 3 checks you could do would be all out of logic.
Absolutely. Again, check hobo here very quickly. We'll see what the sleeping man has on the bridge, and it's just 20 rupees. But I was about to say, normally when you find that book, Tracy, especially this early on, you probably would think, okay, I gotta go into Desert Palace. But Key Sanity, that's gonna change things up a little bit. It's not gonna necessarily point to a Desert Palace play. You can go in the front door, but you might not be able to get anything
you
out
can
of there.
get. Well, it's one item plus the ledge item, and which is actually, to be fair, in a normal seed that could also be the case depending on the boot situation. But yeah, it does make it 3 items in the area for WeightyWords. For SailorNep, having already done Agina's Cave, it's a lot less appealing to go back there.
Right. You're seeing the setup here to get the water walk out of the waterfall, and Weighty's got it. So now we can open up these chests. It's a bunch of red stuff.
And nothing interesting. Meanwhile, SailorNep can check the first chest in Castle Tower. We don't have those keys yet, so...
Yeah, that's another thing, of course, for those who might be unfamiliar with Key Sanity, is that normally these 2 chests are just keys. They're of little consequence. You're not going to get them unless you're going to go in. It is a key, but it's a key to GT.
which we really hope to not have to touch. The only way any progression can be in GT is if it involves a sword, but we already have 3 swords, so... The only time progression is going to be in GT in a fast scan seed is if all your swords are there, basically, except the first one. Because although there is a layout that allows you to have all 4 swords in GT, but that would be even stranger.
And Nep's going to go over and talk to Sahasrara probably and see what's in his closet.
Yeah, we'll find out what the green pendant is.
Turtle Rock. Ooh.
There's one of our one of our Mit's pendant. Our dungeon is a pendant dungeon.
Right. It could be good news or bad news. So the bad news would be if Sahasrara has the item and it's a green pendant turn in. That's no bueno. But if you can skip Turtle Rock altogether, then no one's going to complain about that.
No, absolutely not. WeightyWords about to get the same information. So one of the nice things about Eastern here is we can still do 4 checks. It's one less chest we can open than normal, but 1 more item that we can get than normal because no small keys for Eastern Palace. At least no chest small keys. So guaranteed 4 items of some sort here. I always find it amusing that chickens get shuffled in with the other enemies. And so far, just some bombs. Not a good start for Eastern Palace. And nice to have this hookshot early. We can go down and do this the quick way for the second check. And we get a map to desert. And Weighty just following SailorNep right now.
And yeah, we don't really have a difference in items yet because everyone's been going to the same spots here. So
Yeah, so SailorNep, having checked, Agina has that extra pod small. WeityWords has already done a scout of the Zora area and has picked up the hobo item.
yes. So yeah, we're pretty close on items here, and obviously things feel pretty linear right now. If you were running this, you'd feel like it's probably pretty linear, not really a lot of choice on where you can go. Just 2 dungeons to poke around in. Yep.
You got the Tower of Hierarchy, the Tower of Hera basement, and of course this dark room, which is normally I think the easiest dark rooms in the game. These 2 dark rooms right here that SailorNep is in right now.
Yep.
Not so easy in Randomizer.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be somewhat of an issue here, just because the enemy is changing. You are correct, Tracy. It's normally pretty easy. The one that SailorNep's in right now is normally just a big ring, and you just kind of walk around in the dark.
Yep. With Blue Mail, 7 hearts. Well, I guess 6 hearts for SailorNep, and a pretty decent set of weapons for this early. Looks like they're both going to be able to get through just fine. And a small key to desert. So now things are pointing a little bit more to desert, because that's 2 more items in desert that we can get. And it looks like she's headed that way. We'll see if WeityWords chooses to do the same thing. And saving according to Link's house tells me he is, which means he'll get that pod small key as well. And we'll find out what's in desert. A little bit unfortunate for SailorNep since she's already been in this area, but still 4 more items that she can get in this area now. And Boots sitting there on the desert ledge, so that's a really good item to be able to get now. That's actually a 5th item, because now we can get the item on the torch.
So let's see what we got inside Desert Palace here. Now we're going to burn that key on the right. That's a smart play to do. You got that key, might as well use it.
That's the only key for desert in a chest, so you might as well. Map to Thieves Town, so it'll tell us whether Thieves Town is a pendant or a crystal.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense because, you get 2 items. Unfortunately, they're both junk, but
pretty much.
At least you know that you don't have to come back and check those. You're not missing out on something on that right side.
And WeityWords can see those boots as well. So it looks like that books was all about the boots, and the small key really was all about nothing. There's more problems with the torch. Okay. So the actual inside of Desert Palace, pretty worthless. The only thing of any note picked up is going to be that Thieves Town map, which does give us information at some point. Everything else pretty much junk. Really just a bunch of bombs, which we now have plenty of, so.
Yep. Of course, those boots are going to be super handy, because now we've got... save and quit there. Probably see... Nep probably go to... house? Okay, house. I was gonna say...
Oh, go get that mirror. Oh, sorry, the hammer.
Yeah, I was gonna say...
It's access.
Yeah, I was gonna say... Maybe the play would have been to go to Sank, do Blanc Rocks, and then go down and get the hammer, but I know it's a little bit longer of a path.
I could see either way. You know that the hammer is something, you don't know the Blanc Rocks is something, so.
Right. There's a possibility too, you're gonna open up a lot more with a hammer right off the bat, so. The hook dash off the ladder there, that's always fun to see.
Okay, she's just gonna save and quit. Let's see if she wants to go straight into the Dark World or check those bonk rocks first. Looks like just getting back to Link's house. I'm probably gonna do a hype cave check.
Yep. Thankfully, coming in here with blue mail make it a little less difficult. But yeah, hype cave.
Let's see what we got.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, okay, yep.
Fire Rod, an important hype cave. That's a good hype cave right away.
Yep.
Piece of heart.
Oh, flute.
A flute. Another piece of heart.
Half
magic. So 2 most likely hard required items. We won't know for sure yet until we see our pendants and crystals.
Yep.
And a very nice item to have, that half magic.
Absolutely. Going to be a very nice utility to have for a lot of these Dark World dungeons. I think that's worthy of a 10.
To me, give me one good item in a 5 chest cave and I'm happy. I didn't see the what the bomb shop guy said about what our red crystals were.
Eastern Palace and Swamp Palace.
Right.
Yes.
But yeah, it's interesting because we already know the Turtle Rock is a pendant. If Skull Woods is also a pendant, that Fire Rod, not necessarily required for anything. Although we don't have a lamp yet, so we do need some sort of fire source to beat the game.
Unless we want to put something delicious on pedestal.
Could be. We have a book. We could check. WeityWords going straight over to the Dark World from the Village of Outcast side of things, which means he'll get his Hype Cave package a little bit later, which is a little unfortunate. He's going into Skull Woods, it looks like right now.
Oh, I'm going to say I kind of like this play on Nep's side, too. She's going to check Catfish, and if Catfish has something of value, this is a really smart play. Oh, getting a map check from Weighty. We have additional crystal. Thieves Town's a crystal as well.
Oh, so Thieves Town wasn't a 5/6 because that was definitely not a red crystal. It was actually the Vanilla 4 crystal.
Yep, it's a Swamp Palace Eastern.
Oh, Swamp and Eastern, that's right. Okay, you said that earlier. And I misremembered.
It's alright. Happens to the best of us.
Okay, what does the Catfish have? A fairy in a bottle. Which...
That's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, certainly much worse things to pick up. It is our first bottle. If there's something on Sick Kid and there's not another bottle available, it could actually be really big.
Right.
Oh, hey, we got the map to Skull Woods. We could leave the dungeon and find out whether it's a pendant or a crystal. And just a reminder or something for anybody that's new. Big key to Turtle Rock. We hope not to need that. The music is also shuffled in the dungeon, so you cannot tell whether or not the dungeon is a pendant or a crystal by the music. And Bonk Rocks is a piece of heart.
Well. Getting the hammer was the right play.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think it was the right play before, but I do like it routing it later.
Yeah, it just reconfirms it.
Weighty doing a nice job pulling the statue. One more item that he can check over here. Just 20 rupees.
Just big 20. Yep. And unfortunately, I should say fortunately, I think Nep's probably going to follow Weighty into Skullwoods here and probably check these locations.
She might finish it, though, with that fire rod.
Right, but probably got to check Sick Kid first, actually.
Yeah, do that before you get into the Dark World, because you don't have a mirror to get back.
Let's see what the unwell child has for us today.
Okay. That could be fairly big. I mean, depending on when Weighty gets a bottle of any sort. Lamp, while never hard required, is especially nice. He's like, do I get the sword or not? He's gonna get it.
Yep.
Yeah, that lamp being never hard required, but in a Randomizer seed in particular, it's really nice to have for these dark worms.
Nep's actually going up to Death Mountain to rescue the old man. This is even better play than that, I think.
I like this.
Mm-hmm.
And Weighty picks up his gold sword. Also really nice when you get a surprise Trinex or something to have that gold sword ready to make the fight a lot faster. Cold Stare as well.
Yep. Nep finding the big key to Thieves Town on the old man.
Ooh, that's a required item.
Yep. I don't quite know how he got it, considering it should be in the Dark World, but whatever. And looks like she's going to be heading over to Paradox Cave. So we got 7 chests in here. Meanwhile, Weighty finding just some bombs in C-shaped house. And it is pendant. Is a pendant dungeon for.
So that fire rod not required.
Yeah, Nep's doing really well here just on routing choice and execution, but definitely still anybody's game. We're only 30 minutes in. Ooh, Flippers would be nice to have though.
Yeah, unfortunately, Weighty's not going to be able to finish this Thieves Town. But probably going to route this down to Hype Cave.
Yeah, I'll probably see, definitely see some Hype Cave routing in here. Pretty tricky dungeon though. There's a lot of really brutal. Ooh, and it's the big key of Hera inside of Thieves Town.
I don't know yet whether that's going to be required, but as we know 2 of our pendant dungeons already, I would guess it probably is.
You get to see some of those cannon guards, which are only in the Randomizer, I believe.
Yeah, they're not in the original. They're programmed into the original game, but they don't show up in the original game.
Right. They're there, but we don't actually see them.
Okay, we get Spiral Cave from SailorNep. Just 10 arrows there. One more Village of Outcasts check from WeityWords before he heads down south. Gets a piece of heart from the brewery.
Yeah, just for key sanity, for anyone who's never played one of these before, there's the same amount of understanding what the seed's giving you and trying to figure out where it wants you to go as in a normal seed, but it's a little bit more difficult because of the fact that there's just so many more items that are in play here. Takes a lot more thinking.
Be ready to double and triple dip dungeons.
Yes. Because, for example, right now, looking at Nep as Weighty digs up a piece of heart, and Nep's going to be checking the tablet to get... Oh, the glove! The second glove is on Ether.
Nice.
Yeah, I was going to say, with Nep, for example, she's got hookshot, flippers, hammer. So normally when you'd have that, you'd be thinking, okay, once I find the mirror, I can go and do Swamp Palace. But you don't have the small key that lets you get by the front door. So
yep,
that's one of the things you got to think about and take into consideration. Just some junk in the basement there of Hera. Let's open up this chest, and we get 10 arrows.
Looks like she's going to go ahead and Hera pot to finish the dungeon.
Yep. Trying to set this up, and there we go. Nice little clip into that pot. Well, Weighty is now in Hype Cave, and we'll find all the good things that Nep found just a little bit ago. Wonderful. We have the map of this dungeon.
And
so...
we can leave the dungeon and find out whether it's a pendant or a crystal.
Brilliant. Or we can just go upstairs and kill Helmasaur.
Yeah, Helmasaur does weird things. In its dungeon.
This is actually... Yeah, I'm just going to say, this is actually kind of a difficult dungeon because he kind of likes... I've noticed he kind of likes to seem to hover over that hole in the middle, which I like. Someone got me on some hockey-related terms one time, so I ended up calling it the penalty box. But
That works for me.
yeah, but it's a hole that drops down 2 floors, and using some bombs to take care of it. Use the
Yeah, I like that choice.
tempered. Yeah.
So the tempered sword is tempered swords. Spins would only be 2. Slash would be 4. At this point, that's your best weapon to finish him off.
Yep. And our answer is there's a small key, and the small key is Skull Woods, and it's a crystal.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, odds were that it was going to be a crystal because we're only missing 1 pendant, but pendant's got to show up somewhere, so it certainly wasn't a guarantee. Okay, WeityWords going to get that bottle over here. Probably going to end up getting that lamp, which probably sends him up to the mountain a little bit behind SailorNep.
Spike cave check from Nep here. They use the magic cape here, but with that half magic should be okay.
And has a fairy just in case, so
yeah,
no worries here. But just a piece of heart. There's that chain chomp and a roller. Definitely making this little area a little trickier than normal. Oh, I guess SailorNep never checked Spectral Rock Cave. We see a heart container there. I don't think she's going to pick that up. I was going to do some myths checks.
And Weighty's going to check and
he's going to see that big key.
Yep.
The big key of we don't know if we're going to need this or not.
The only thing is at some point we will know because we'll probably start to whittle down what's left.
Yeah.
So.
At this point, you've got full-on Dark World access. You're not going to go there until you're starting to run out of things to do, unless you want to make it as a play feeling behind. Also, no use thinking about it until we have 2 castle tower keys. Specific Weighty activating the flute. Probably going to go ahead and get that lamp from Sick Kid and then flute over to the mountain. Meanwhile, SailorNep opening up Turtle Rock. We can't go any further because no Kana Samaria. I saw something on Ice Palace, but I didn't see what it was. Probably a crystal. I did not notice that she'd gotten that map, though. And there's a very unhappy Spike in there. Now that we can hear the sound.
Small key to Ice Palace and Hookshot. What else is in here? 10 arrows. Yeah,
Ice Palace, one of those dungeons that you don't necessarily need small keys to finish. It can make routing a little bit easier, though. Basically, Ice Palace, Skull Woods, and Misery Mire pretty much can do without small keys. Although Skull Woods in particular, you can avoid being stuck in the drop-down area if you have if you have at least 1 small key. Okay, WeityWords gonna see that heart container, not gonna grab it. You gonna do Spike Cave first? That's interesting. Unfortunately for him, just gonna be a piece of heart. SailorNep probably gonna go into Thieves Town. She'll be able to clear it mostly. I don't believe she has this. I don't think we've seen the small key yet. but can do everything else. Okay, now Weighty's going to go over to the east part of the mountain and do all those checks. Probably then do Tower of Hera, just like SailorNep did.
Yep, kind of seeing a little bit of a role reversal here. I think the one thing that Nep has advantage-wise is having these town big keys actually going to be able to clear out more.
Yeah,
of this dungeon.
exactly.
Yep.
And Weighty will have to go in for the second time, and if we don't see a small key before he goes in that second time, could potentially have to go in 3 times.
That's just mean because we know what that small key's for. It's for the big chest.
Yeah.
You don't want to have to go. You don't have to go in 3 times to
never.
go get that. No. It's way in the back.
Oh, there's that Ice Palace map that we saw. Okay, WeityWords probably gonna go over to Hera next, and now we get to see some new checks in the back. WeityWords gonna get one advantage he's gonna have. I forgot he's got that Hera big key, and so he's gonna be able to check that big chest. And if there's something there, it's gonna be a long time before SailorNep gets back to that. Now, let's see. Just gonna go straight to the boss. We can check the back. We're gonna go straight to the boss. This being, that's another Helmosaur. Okay, this being Randomizer with full boss shuffle. We will see 3 of the bosses twice. So we've now seen Helmosaur twice. The other bosses will each make at least 1 appearance, although we may not see them if they're stuck in a pendant dungeon, or for that matter, we're not gonna see any of the GT bosses that show up.
Yeah, let me get the probably more likely than not, we'll get that elusive GT big key of 0, the bow on the Helmosaur King. It's a great find.
Yep, absolutely. We still need that for Pod. And logically speaking, we need it for the 2 chests in Pod and for Eastern. WeityWords can do... Oh yeah, SailorNep never did the basement with that small key, and she did have this available to her.
Yeah, she opened it up actually while she was trying to do the Hera pot, just didn't go downstairs. So
yeah, I don't think she opened it up on purpose, but it did end up opening.
Right.
And this is a slow check, so skipping it could save her time if there's nothing here, and it could make it a little bit more palatable to come back here with the big key, because then it'd be 2 checks instead of just 1. On the other hand, WeityWords having both of those keys doesn't want to ever come back to Hera, so it makes sense for him to do it now. Unfortunately for him, just 20 rupees. Even more unfortunate is no mirror and not set up great for a death warp, so he's gonna walk on out of here. Okay, and WeityWords uses the bomb setup to do the Hera pot. Ow. Those yellow spike things. And just 10 hours in the big chest, so that's going to be a definite time save for SailorNep, assuming she doesn't get baited back in here later on when looking for whatever our go mode item or items are.
Kind of interesting. You don't normally see the.
I love the swimming smith.
Right. I was gonna say you don't normally see the smith going for a swim here. Try to keep him dry. You don't quite know if he shrinks when you put him in the dryer, though.
Okay. WeityWords also going to switch to bombs on Helmasaur here. We used only 5 bombs total to get the mask off, as opposed to 17 hammer hits. So,
Yep.
if nothing else, this is faster. A lot of times it's just easier to do it this way, in this particular location.
What's nice too is that even if you don't get the bomb immediately placed like that, like we saw with Weighty there, if it still gets caught in the animation, it'll still hit splash for damage, and you'll still get credit for it.
Yeah, and the other nice thing for Weighty is with that gold sword, it only takes 2 slashes to finish him off instead of the 4. And doesn't make a difference whether you slash or spin, so.
Mm-hmm. So Nep is only 13 rupees short.
You know, it actually bothers me a little bit more when you see a runner that's that close to Zora money go over here, rather than well, I only have 100 rupees. I'm nowhere even close. Does she realize she doesn't have the money? Because she's still going.
I hope so. Oh.
Yeah, Dead Rocks and Spiral Cave are the worst.
Yep. You're gonna get the message. You're a little bit short.
So that's a bit of a time loss on her part.
Yeah. Let's pick up that heart though. Gonna save and quit.
And check up with a good point. If she got to exactly 500 rupees, she would no longer be able to afford to turn in the smith.
Also,
it's only like 10 rupees,
point.
I think. But
yeah,
I don't know what happens when you don't have the rupees to turn them in.
They're just like, hey, thanks for bringing them back.
Yeah,
sorry.
Come back with money.
Nothing we can do with you.
And a map to Ganon's Tower. Another one of those useless maps.
Yeah. I feel like at that point, it's like you have to argue, you have to barter a little bit there and be like, look, I went to another dimension and saved your butt
I know, right?
and brought you back. Can't you just give me one in the house for now?
Looks like SailorNep going to go into Skull Woods. Maybe she was going to go into Ice Palace, but with that smith there, she couldn't do it right then and there. But she could do it now. Maybe he wants to wait for that big key, even though because the big key is logically required, and because there could be something in that big chest, but definitely doesn't absolutely need it. Or maybe just waiting for Canis and Mario to be able to do Icebreaker just to make it quicker. Also going to point out we've only gotten the 1 pod small key, so I'm beginning to wonder if that's going to be our other pendant dungeon. So not a whole lot of indications that we should be headed that way.
What's in the back here? You can see what's in this one chest.
Oh, that's a nasty bridge.
Did not check. Ooh, yeah. King's Tomb is going to be some bombs and a shovel in the back of
To be determined in the
Skull
back
Woods.
of Skull Woods is what that is.
Yes. Yep. Could be anything. We haven't found yet.
And they say if there was something good in that chest, I might not kill Moth, but now I think you kind of have to.
Mm-hmm. You might as well.
You're already here. Well, it's also bombless for Meyer, it looks like.
Yeah, it looked like bombos. But we're gonna check West Shed. There's a big key. Skull Woods. Yeah, the small key. The Mire.
Yeah, unfortunately, you don't have the Meyer big key, so can't full clear this. And we couldn't full clear it anyway without the Canis Mario. But you might go in anyway. There are 8 checks total in here, I believe. Oh my god, that is a funny looking... That Moldorm is almost as fun as Helmacopper, and much easier to kill.
Oh, yes.
The way the head's
it's small. It's small dorm. It's small dorm.
Yeah, that tail is kind of hiding, but unfortunately for SailorNep, just 20 rupees. Oh my god, this first room in Meyer.
Oh yeah.
He does come out of it with full hearts, which is really nice. Oh, the gold sword also being really nice for these buzz blobs because they don't electrocute you when you use it, but with those other the sand enemies, he decides to use some ether action anyway. So Meyer routing tends to be a little bit different in Key Sandy. Typically, you're going to go to this left side area first and do the compass chest and the cutscene chest. So long as you start with a small key. Of course, you want to avoid the Wall Master there. Most Wall Masters like to show up in strange places in Key Sandy. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, they don't take them out of the places that they're already at. I don't understand why that is. If you're going to add Wall Masters someplace, we should take them out of the other places they're already at.
Yes. I was going to say, Weedy just picking up my favorite compass, the compass to get in his tower, that tells us it is neither crystal nor pendant. I'm very surprised. We're seeing we're just waiting
on the hand
for yep. There
every once in a while those Wall Masters are useful. Another bottle. That's bottle number 3, I believe.
I believe you're correct.
And SailorNep going to see that sword. Let's see if she decides to fit. Nah, she doesn't even stop to think. She's like, nope, I'm good on Tempered Sword. Oh!
Big key of this dungeon.
You know, that's so trolly because we still don't have a Canis Maria.
Whoa, that was cool to see from Weighty.
Yep.
Kind of dashed through the barrier there.
Yeah, it's a neat little, relatively new clip.
Yeah, that's a new one. I haven't seen that one yet. That looks really cool.
But we do get at least one extra check out of that big key, so we do get to check the big chest here.
Right. It's a small key to Dark Palace.
Pod. Oh, there's our second pod. I was just talking about our lack of pod smalls.
Ice rod, though.
No, that's not what you want to find.
It's the big key to Eastern Palace.
Green pendant, anybody?
Oh!
Oh, now that's something you do want to find.
Yes! Wow, the mirror showing up in the spike area chest there.
Ironically, Weighty down to 1.5 hearts is probably just going to death warp when he's done here, or even save and quit.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, I'll take it back. He's definitely going to save and quit because he'll want to check Checkerboard Cave. Oh, but does decide not to death warp. Going to be down to 1.5 hearts as he goes over there. Although, of course, this area is probably a little less dangerous since we don't have those murder dactyls running around.
Mm-hmm. And a small pod key as well in the chest.
Now we're starting to get those pod smalls. And another key over here.
Here's the... Yep. Ice Palace. There's the save and quit.
Yeah, there's nothing more he can do in Desert without the big key there. So, and we know it's somewhere along the line, a map check was done. We know it's a pendant anyway.
Yeah, so Eastern Palace is going to be the play for Nep. Right here. This will be crystal number 3 if when she's got this done. So this will be pretty good progress.
Weighty going back to Skull Woods, I guess? He does have the big key there, so he could do the big chest. That'll be a new check for us. Forget a little bit of messed up on what quick swap he was on. And just a piece of heart. And just bombs in the big chest of Eastern as the only other check besides on the actual boss itself. Oh my god, look at this room. Aren't you glad you have a map, SailorNep?
Yes.
Yeah, that lamp coming in super handy there. WeityWords gonna finish up Skull Woods. A little unfortunate, we know this is nothing.
So of course, one of the things too to remember is since this is fast again, we may not even have to go into GT.
Oh, I doubt we're going to see any part of GT. There's nothing. There's nothing progression wise that could be in there. Now, if I mean, I was gonna say if this were all dungeons, but I don't think you could have all dungeons and also have a fast cannon. So
right, and Cold Stare showing up in the Eastern Palace.
Fortunately, we have both bombos and a fire rod, so we have options here.
And we got half magic. That's going to make this a lot nicer. And there we go. Super quick.
Also, I'm going to take something back that I said earlier about that ice rod. Ice rod actually a super nice find in a boss shuffle, because you never know when those Trinexes are going to show up. But normally you'd be like, well, I don't want to have to kill a Trinex in a Pendant TR, but...
That's a great point, Tracy. And we've got... Let's see here. So we're going to need to find Canis Mario as Weighty gets to slow dorm. Small dorm.
I just can't get over this Moldorm look. Unfortunately, Weighty just makes 2 swipes and he's done. Didn't get to see him for very long. Okay, we're gonna get that shovel check here.
It's
we are indeed. Small key too.
Skull
Woods. A very boring small key. Weighty gonna go ahead and check Ped.
And what we got? It's a shield
we're
upgrade.
Not getting that.
Yep.
So SailorNep making her way over to the Mire area is going to get her mirror if she does all of and her Mire small big key. Unfortunately, still can't do Swamp Palace for WeityWords because still doesn't have that Swamp Small. I feel like Ice Palace might be a good choice though. Unfortunately, no cane for the Icebreaker, but got to be able to do that bomb jump still. I'm a big proponent of making sure you know any new player out there. You can't just rely on that Icebreaker. You absolutely need to know the bomb jump unless you want a full clear Ice Palace in the intended, in the developer intended way, which nobody wants to do. Or even worse, having to search out a Canis Maria because you have a Canis Maria locked Ice Palace. We haven't seen this yet. So there's that small key to Thieves Town. That could take WeityWords back to that area. We haven't seen any of the back of Thieves Town, so.
Great. Just the Helmasaur fight in the back. And we do indeed have our full layout now of everything.
Yeah, that is taking WeightyWords back to Thief. So we'll see if he chooses to do the back first. And I suspect he'll do the back. I just don't know whether he'll do it first or not, because if that small key is what's taking him back here, he fully intends to check it.
Yes, I suspect that we will see Nep go ahead and do all the checks that Weighty did in here. And of course, still missing that Kane of Samaria will not be able to go back and take care of the boss here yet.
Okay, WeightyWords is going to do the Helmosaur fight first. Much easier fight than on that Terror Hera location.
Mm-hmm. We are now 1 hour in.
Weighty getting his bow. See if he can. I do think he's going to go back in, though. I mean, it's possible the bow could distract him and take him over to Eastern Endor Pod, but you're right here. I'm not sure you're ever. Well, I don't know how much of this. He hasn't really done much of the Smith chain, but at this point, yeah, you want to just not have to come back here.
Yep. So yeah, as far as items you can use in the game goes, we know that we need a Cane of Samaria. And it's really like the only one that's left.
As far as items, we're also missing. Let's see, we're missing. Well, Weighty's still missing that Eastern Palace big key. We're missing a pod. We're missing lots of pod, and we're missing the Swamp Palace small key. Now, if we find the pod big key, you almost want that to be, if that's their go mode item. You don't need the other pod smalls. Logically speaking, you need all 6 to beat the dungeon. But realistically, you need 1. If you're going to ignore the rest of the dungeon. For the question that asks what's pod, pod is the acronym for Palace of Darkness.
Correct. It is the first dungeon in the Dark World you would normally go through, aka dungeon number 4 you would go through in the game overall. So it's the one where you normally would find the Helmosaur fight that we've already seen twice.
And we did see a big key to Ice Palace there in the Addict of Thieves Town, which, again, while not hard required, is logically required to beat Ice Palace. And if there's something in the big chest, having that big key is really nice when you go in there.
Yeah, something in the big chest like Cane of Samaria.
Yeah.
And we are seeing Weighty come on down here. Meanwhile,
I do like Weighty's decision to pick up that gold sword. I think in Randomizer, I think you get so much more use out of it. I think that was part of his hesitation there when he was thinking about picking up or not picking it up. Is in normal, you know what's coming. You know where exactly where those time saves are. But in Randomizer, you never know when that gold sword is just going to make things a lot easier.
Oh my, and we found the compass to Turtle Rock. And
baby.
All that hard work.
Yeah, that's all we got.
The only thing I got out of the back was that Ice Palace big key, and we don't even know what's in that
another
chest.
to be determined.
Right. But Pod's going to be at the play here from Nep, going to go in and check all the wonderful chests in here. It's not a bad decision at all. There's a lot of chests to check in here.
Yeah, she's got 3 smalls. We'll just have to see how she decides to use them.
Game always puts things in order that it assumes you're going to use these keys in a terrible, horrible way that makes everybody cry. So that's the assumption it makes.
And Weighty picks up that Eastern Palace big key, which is probably going to send him over to this area as well. Going to have a much easier time turning in that Smith since he does have the mirror. Yeah, Nep not going to open that middle door, at least not yet. With only 3 pod small keys to work with, that makes a lot of sense. And there's that Ganon's Tower, useless Ganon's Tower map for Weighty. And gonna drag that purple chest. Okay, two more. Next two checks for pod here are... if we can get away from these red guards. Heart container. And 5 rupees. Hey, the map of pod. We can go out of the dungeon and check and see if this is a crystal yet or not. Except we already know from process of elimination.
We do.
And another heart container. So far, not much in pod. Although it's very common to find a pod small key in pod, so don't be surprised if we see one of those.
I think we'll probably just see Nep go through and just clear the whole thing out anyways. You know, you have to beat this is the crystal dungeon, why not check everything?
Yeah, you're gonna check. Yeah, you're gonna have to leave something behind. You don't have 3 keys, not enough,
right,
to clear the whole thing. She can clear everything but Helmasaur if she wants to count on, or take a chance that that she might find. I mean, there should be more pod small keys on the way. It is a crystal dungeon. They're out there somewhere. She could alternatively take a death at some point and do what we call save scum to see if some of these items are worth anything, and then reset if they're not. I don't think we saw Bombo's tablet from... Do we see Bombo's tablet?
Nope,
from
not yet.
SailorNep? Okay, so this will be a new check for us here on WeityWords side.
And it's just a big 50. There's the Canis Samaria.
Ha! So pod does have, well, one good item.
Yep.
we got
that
the Canis Samaria, then we can pick up the single arrow. But yeah, that Canis Samaria fairly important.
So that's all the player use items. The only thing we're missing now is for go mode for Nep is the Swamp Palace small key
and the pod big.
Yep.
So a little unfortunate. WeityWords heading into Ice Palace. We'll still be able to full clear this. We'll use the bomb jump, but no Canis Samaria means he won't be able to save the time that SailorNep when she goes in here will be able to save a ton of time doing Icebreaker.
Yep.
And to be clear, it's when you're in when you're still looking for items that it makes a difference. In go mode, the Icebreaker actually saves about 15 seconds because Ice Palace bomb jump is pretty darn quick for going straight through the dungeon. But when you have to check everything, yeah, it's definitely a big difference.
And pod big not in pod, it looks like, so
Nope. On the other hand, if WeityWords can score a pod big key in here, he's going to save a lot of time potentially in pod because he'll be able to leave as soon as he gets that Canis Samaria.
yeah, I think this definitely will be a Ice Palace play. Wait, no. Gonna be potion refill first.
Yeah, going to
Right.
grab a blue right before Ice Palace is a very magic heavy dungeon, so
Not a bad call.
although we don't know what the boss is. Yeah, normally it's like you want to have all that magic for Cold Stare, but probably not going to see Cold Stare here since we've already seen one. Could show up twice, we don't know.
Yeah, so I think we're definitely not gonna bother with GT tonight to everyone, so don't worry about that. Because there's no way based on the logic that either of the items that we need right now are anywhere within the tower.
Yeah, again, in general with a fast cannon,
yep.
Fast cannon 7/7, the only way GT has something useful is if you're missing a sword when you finish your 7 crystals, which can happen. But we got 3 swords within what? 5 minutes,
5 minutes.
like maybe 10 because we did have to do the escape. It did not take long. But yeah, we're gonna see a bit of a icebreaker versus not icebreaker here. That little spark in a very bad spot to hook shot across. There's a big key to Swamp Palace, which means we will be able to full clear Swamp Palace when we go in there.
And a nice icebreaker as well from Nep. Also picking up that Swamp Palace big key. Desert Palace big key.
Which we don't really want to see, because that's a pendant. We already know that pet is nothing. At least Weighty knows that. I don't believe SailorNep checked.
Mm-hmm. I'd almost feel like if you nap and you complete Ice Palace and you don't find the thing that you're looking for, and you want to take the risk that it's not the big chest here, that I feel like you just go complete Mire and get that eliminated, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. Maybe see if the boss has a drop or something.
Yeah, I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
We can see SailorNep entering Ice Palace much later. Oh, we still get, okay. She's still got the ice tea room to check. We see how much faster she's going through this dungeon than WeightyWords is.
Yep.
Now, moment of truth. What is this big chest?
Big 20. Not
worth it.
Okay. So Nep doesn't know that, but for her that will be a happy thing if she doesn't have to check that.
Okay. WeightyWords gonna have to be a little careful here. Oh, that is a really, really bad death to take. But thankfully, he's got a fairy, so he actually doesn't die. That room, I mean, that room's normally awful. That was so much worse.
Mm-hmm. I would feel like if you nap right now, I feel like the thing you'd really want to find from the get-go is that if you find Swamp Palace small key in here somewhere, that would open up some nice stuff as Armored Knight's hanging out in Cold Stare. And then you just kind of, I guess, hope that Swamp Palace has your big key. And that way you can just go to the back of Desert and just be done with it. Key and Burna.
That's a nice safety item in Randomizer.
Mm-hmm.
So, for your Weighty's, let's see, where do you go next if you're a Weighty? Do you go to Pod Eastern? I mean, that just feels like probably where you go. Unfortunately, that he's not going to gain back any time because we know there's nothing. The only thing in Pod is that Kena Samaria. I don't know if there's any other choice though. I mean, you could do First Chest Swamp. SailorNep now with 500 rupees is going to check Zora.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try this again. Okay, Weighty's just going to go do Eastern. He's not doing this from the Dark World, so we'll see if he goes into Pod afterwards.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if he does. I feel like that would be a smart play. It's a completely unexplored dungeon for him, so, you know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else he has at this point. Obviously, could go and finish Desert.
Ooh, big key.
The big key to
GT. Oh,
GT. So, you know what's sitting over there in the lumberjack? It could be our. Let's see. It's our pod big. Yeah, we've seen all the other ones.
Yeah.
But you know what we don't have? We don't have Castle Tower small keys. Oh
Nope.
my god. That's so bad. We are running out of places to go. Turtle Rock. 2 small keys and a big key. SailorNep could go there right now. I think it makes sense to do this Meyer play first, though.
Yeah, get rid of everything off the table like this.
Yeah.
Eliminate these locations just so you never have to come back here again.
But it's beginning to look like Turtle Rock is something. But both runners know there's a big key sitting there on the lumberjack, and we've now seen all of them. Weighty has not seen the GT big key yet. Probably will go to Zora at some point in the near future. Has plenty of rupees for it. Okay, easy items in this room. I didn't quite notice it when SailorNep went through, but there's a lot of them. So. This will be a very quick fight with Gold Sword and a Fire Rod.
So we're definitely if we weren't at the point already where GT is like completely and totally useless to go into, we're with knowing that Pod big keys on Lumberjack Ledge, we absolutely know that it's
because you know what? I guess Castle Tower keys could be in GT, but if they're in GT, then there's no reason to ever do Castle Tower. So
yep.
That's strange that we have not seen a single Castle Tower key yet. That in a seed where it's clearly going to be required.
Very weird. Maybe we get one. Maybe we get a drop here somewhere.
Yeah, Weighty does not want to do Pod. Unfortunately, it's where he has to go now. If the only thing he could get out of this is the Swamp Small.
I do wonder though, is for Nep, is this going to be a play where you go finish out Desert Palace after this and see if there's anything on the boss there?
That wouldn't be unreasonable. I mean, it's 2 checks, so we also have the big chest.
Yep. And actually, we're going to find out anyways because Weighty's going back into Desert. Finds a big 50.
Yeah, it's a matter of proximity versus density. Although with only 2 Turtle Rock small keys, you can't get very far. Actually, that's not true. If you skip Lava Chest, you can get to the big chest. Although with only 2 small keys, it probably makes it more likely that your item is in the lava chest. So I don't know.
So I think Desert makes the most sense for just getting cleared and out of the way now. Obviously, Turtle Rock's probably got tons of stuff in there. She's already got the mirror out, so she's already thinking. Yep.
Yeah, which is a little unfortunate for Weighty because because now even if this is the small key to Swamp, which is one of the things we're looking for, SailorNep's gonna get it too. Oh, hello, Trinex.
There we go.
Yeah, wrong rod.
There's our friend.
And here's where that gold sword is really nice to have.
Absolutely.
Oh. So I'm not going to check this. Unfortunately, though, for Weighty, just a piece of heart. So, Desert, nothing for us. Okay, I'm trying to think if there's anything else for Weighty to check besides Pod. Oh, he's got to do Zora. He's gonna now find out, which is kind of important because that'll give him that Ganon's Tower big key, which is not important in and of itself, but it will tell him they need to be searching for Castle Tower small keys.
Right. Process of elimination.
Yes, he knows that big key. on that there is a big key on Lumberjack, and by process of elimination, he'll know that it has to be the pod big key. But the bad thing for Weighty is I mean, he's behind here, and we're running out of locations to which that he can get things that SailorNep would leave behind, and that's what he needs right now. Oh, and our tracker, Mindful Beast, definitely always want to mention our tracker is doing a great job reminding us in chat that SailorNep does not know for sure that pod big key is sitting there on the ledge because she doesn't have the Ice Palace big key.
Right, she has not gone back into Thieves Town to grab that. But she's going to go to Turtle Rock nonetheless.
Where is Weighty going?
Maybe also Turtle Rock.
But he can't do anything in Turtle Rock without Canis and
Oh,
Maria.
has he? I'm not sure that has he not done Dark Death
He did
Mountain?
it.
Huh. This might be a muscle memory moment.
Oh, there's a small key there on the floating island that I don't think either one of them had mirror when they were here before.
Nope.
That could be our Swamp Small.
I think Weighty may be going to find that out for us.
Yeah, SailorNep may be going and checking it too. No, she's going straight into Turtle Rock. If this is the Swamp Small, this is the kind of thing that I don't know if it'll be enough unless we see more Turtle Rock keys in Turtle Rock. But definitely give Weighty a little bit of a chance to catch up a little bit.
There's a small key to Castle Tower.
Okay, so Turtle Rock going to be at least partially required.
And it's a pod key.
Pod small key. Well, hopefully that gets Weighty over to pod, at least. I believe that's number 4 for him.
Yep.
Oh, and he's going to just go into Castle Tower and check the first chest. I think SailorNep already did this, so I don't believe this is anything.
Correct. She did this very early.
Another pod small key in Turtle Rock. It's a rude spot for a chain chomp. Completely useless small key for Ganon's Tower in there. Okay. WeityWords finally seeing the writing on the wall. Is going to head over to pod. Oh, the lag. So so I see in chat the idea that Weighty was gambling on pod being nothing. I think it's more a matter of he wanted to find that pod big key before going in there.
Yeah, I think he was trying to optimize it as best he could.
Trying to avoid the pod double dip.
Yep.
Pod a terrible dungeon for that. With the number of small keys that are out there, a pod triple dip, not unusual.
We are seeing. It looked like Nep poached the key out of the room there just to not have to waste it. Which can't say it's a bad idea. Maybe we'll get the Mimic Cave check as well.
Yeah, what we saw a lot of in the All Dungeons week is what runners can do here is do all these other checks having 1 key left over, and then take a death so that they can check the lava
Swamp
chest.
Palace small.
There's the Swamp Palace small. Okay. I thought
Okay,
Turtle Rock
so
might be important. But yeah, anyway, so what you would do is then, and she might still do it. 'Cause she's still looking. She still doesn't know for sure where that pod key is. We're still looking for a castle tower.
She's looking for the castle tower one. Yep.
So
GT.
we don't care about that one. But anyway, she kills herself right here. After I guess you'll do laser bridge first. So
Right.
Okay, if she does laser bridge, she's not coming back for the lava chest. What she could have done is taken a death and checked one of these, and if it's nothing, you can reset and have the other one still available.
Yeah, it's nice to have the roller not in that room.
Yeah. The one part about this that's maybe bad is this area not in logic without that 3rd key.
Nope.
Need 3 keys to get to laser bridge in logic, and 4 to complete the dungeon in logic.
So the answer is castle tower, big castle tower, small key. Where are you, friend?
Oh god, what a terrible place for a BMOS.
Yep. I was just about to say that BMOS, that is the nastiest place you could put that. Is it in here as well, or is this different? Nope, there's a small key. GT. Silvers.
That's a nice
That'll be helpful.
pickup.
Yep. She's gonna.
Yeah, she's out of magic to use the cape, so.
Just got a heart refill. Of course. Small key. Castle Tower. She's in go mode.
That is
there
go
it
mode.
is.
At this point, I don't see any way WeightyWords can catch up here.
Right. This is looking like Nep and Titan Smith's game to lose. Week 6 was a 2-0 sweep for Pug Trio over this team. And it looks like if things play out as they look like they will, 2019 Titan Smiths of 2019 may get revenge and knock Pug Trio out of the tournament.
No.
There is
No, hang on. She's
Nope.
not quite in go.
Oh, wait, not quite.
My guess,
She's
still missing the knowledge of the she still doesn't know for sure that big key.
Okay.
Now, if I'm her,
Right. She's okay, we're in no mode at least.
I might have just gambled on that big key being pod and just gone and done Castle Tower now.
Right.
What I definitely wouldn't do is bother with, say, left side swamp. So I might not quite. If I'm gonna do swamp first, I'm not quite gonna go mode this dungeon. But I might, just check all the on path checks, and then gamble the Castle Tower. Hey, that's a nice luxury item in powder. Also gives her another check.
Right. We know she's in go mode, but she doesn't know yet that because unless she's gambling that
mushroom.
As we know. Yep. There's a mushroom.
Yeah, I feel like there's a big key sitting there on the lumberjack. It's a 50-50 shot that it's your big key. Just go get it.
Right. You've got both the Castle Towers keys, so you know that it's an option.
But gosh, even if she does, I feel like for Weighty to catch up, she'd have to do all the other checks before Castle. Like, really would have to avoid Castle Tower to the point of finding the Ice Palace big key and taking it over to Ice Palace.
And this is one of those things too. This is where your memory of where things are really comes into play. What you've checked, what you haven't checked, what you can kind of mathematically eliminate. So.
Weighty is going to go ahead and do Meyer. He's done everything pretty much that I can think of, but Turtle Rock. He knows that.
Right.
Yeah. So the only thing that can screw him up is if he were to check the lava chest instead of going to Laser Bridge for that second Castle Tower key. I don't see him doing that, except doing some sort of save scum situation. In which case, you probably would do the Laser Bridge first, just because it's 4 checks, even though it was the out of logic play. So I'm guessing there's a Turtle Rock small key somewhere in here, in Swamp Palace. So that logically speaking, you were supposed to go get the swamp small in TR to go do Swamp Palace to come back to Turtle Rock to be able to get to Laser Bridge.
We're gonna see the diver down here with the bomb set up. Got it.
Yeah, that fire bar just not making it easy either.
Yeah, we're just gonna check everything but left side here. Get some bombs.
Yeah, I don't think you go back into left side after this. I think you just go do Castle Tower.
Right, because it's a 50-50 shot, and the upside of it is, if it were to be Palace of Darkness Big Key, which we know it is, it's go straight there. So, the upside of taking that risk and it being correct is much better than the downside of trying to be super cautious.
We see a blind here, which of course, blind in Randomizer, there's no such thing as a script. Although, I mean, I suppose somebody could probably come up with a script for the blind fight when you walk in with them already there, but as far as I know, no one's done that.
Right, and the other thing too is if it's Ice Palace Big Key, then you know where you're going next. Darn, there's the Turtle Rock Small Key, as you thought, Tracy. As chat thought. Yep, good calls.
Yeah, logic can be really screwed up. Meanwhile, WeityWords gonna have a very quick fight with this Argus with the gold sword.
Yeah, I have the feeling that based just on what we've seen from Nep so far, that this will probably be Castle
she's not
Tower.
going back in.
Right. I think she probably remembers it's there, and it's probably just, you know what? Sometimes you got to make a gamble if you want to move on to the next round, right? Especially when it's game 5, you got to take a risk. Well, she's also going to go ahead and get the big bomb.
This is absolutely reasonable because
this is a smart play.
Because you can grab the big bomb, check that one location, and then mirror into Castle Tower. That's I think that's a good call.
Yeah.
And WeityWords, meanwhile, probably goes straight to Turtle Rock because he doesn't have anything left. The thing that could bite him is if he decides to mirror out of Turtle Rock or just leave after finding the Swamp Small.
Right. So for Nep, this is she's been making gambles and choices, but she's been making educated ones. So it's been really a situation where it's worked out for her.
She's done some out of the way checks and done some good skips. Combination of those two things has worked out really well for her.
There's the pods.
There's another pod small.
And Turtle Rock map.
Does that get us to 6 total that we found? Because I want to say Weighty found one that she didn't, and she found one in Turtle Rock that. Oh yeah, because the one on Floating Island was a pod small, and she hasn't gotten that one yet.
Yep. So this will be a straight sprint to the back, and then.
Well, she'll open the chest because just in case that's the big key she's looking for.
Oh, just in case. That's a good one too. Yep. Yeah, pretty much a straight sprint to the back here. And Weighty's going into Mire.
Turtle Rock.
Turtle Rock. Yeah, we already went into Mire. And it's a heart, so here on out it's just straight up to the top and taking out Aga. And I'm gonna go check that lumberjack ledge, and we'll be very, very happy when she does so, because she will have read the play correctly.
I love those little sparks just sit there, and sometimes that's really good, Oh my god, poor Weighty. Yeah, this is a time to pull out one of those safety items. But it does mean when they're just sitting there right on the rails, you can't avoid them. And then that chain jump just got him. And there's that chain jump again. Just can't avoid him. Meanwhile, SailorNep about to go into the AGA 1 fight. I guess we can't quite call this an oops all dungeon since we're not touching GT, but for a fast Ganon, it really is.
Right. It was a little mean on its placement.
Get another one of those spikes just bouncing back and forth.
Yep. Everyone's favorite game, of course. Blue balls we're going to get from Ganon. Not Ganon, from AGA.
From AGA.
Yep.
The answer is always too many unless you get 0.
Right. In which
really,
case,
it's 3, but you know.
I was going to say the answer is too many in case you get 0, in which case the answer is not enough. Oh no! Now AGA's just being a mean. Just 3 in a row. Ugh.
Now, fortunately, Weighty is going to go ahead and steal the key, so is going to make it all the way down to Laser Bridge, and will be able to get his items there.
And now he's got that Swamp Palace key.
Let's hope he keeps going. Didn't save and quit, so it looks good. Going back into the mirror portal, looks like he's going to continue on.
And we're actually going to see Nep just, instead of saving and quitting, just going to walk over there. You know, might as well.
She might have some. I don't think she ever did Graveyard Ledge or King's Tomb, so she might do those on the way.
Perhaps. Or alternatively, could see her do it on the way back if that was going to be a check. Yep. I think it's going to be just a straight run over there.
Yeah, actually, that what you say makes a little more sense. She's putting that portal right where you'd want it to be to go back to those locations, so that she can go back to those locations just in case this is the Ice Palace big and not the pod big. But she won't be using it. She'll just flute to 5 right after this.
Yep, flute to 5, hop in the dungeon, and just go ham. And
yeah, I do like the way she's chosen to route this by, doing little extra checks that aren't super out of the way, but then, betting. So not completely betting it all on this location, but pretty much figuring this is going to be the right answer. And of course, as we thought, it is. There's that pod big key.
Yep, so that puts SailorNep into go mode officially at 137.28. So not a whole lot left to do here.
Now, WeityWords also about to be in go mode because he knows that pod big is sitting there on the lumberjack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the only disadvantage is he's still got to go through swamp to get everything he needs to do that.
He has to go through swamp. He has to go through Castle Tower. Now his swamp's going to be faster than SailorNep's, but it's not going to be faster enough.
So yeah, Titansmiths are in pretty solid position right now. Looking to close this out real quick, real smooth here from SailorNep.
So I would say the two big things that have given SailorNep this edge, her getting to Hype Cave sooner and getting those items out of there, and I mean, I don't know that it necessarily need to be Catfish, but because WeityWords could have tried to go to the mountain without a lamp, but following that lamp immediately up the mountain just gave her a pretty decent lead. Allowed her to not ever have to go back into Thieves Town when she beat it. She was able to clear the mountain pretty efficiently. Just little things like that. Weighty finding some extra items that just didn't lead anywhere. Didn't cost him a ton of time, but enough to widen the gap here. And then the fact that SailorNep went into the biggest play, probably the going into pod and gain that red cane, which was, we knew it was gonna be hard to recover from Misery Mire, but the amount of stuff that turned out to be in Turtle Rock.
So just some fun fact here. In this playoff bracket, game 1 was Weighty going up against Dainty and handing so far Dainty his only loss in season 3.
Yep.
So, and then Idiom and Futon were game 2. That was Idiom's win.
Yep.
Nep was in game 3 against Andy. That was a loss, but Dainty and Andy, probably the two juggernauts of those two teams. And these are some very stacked teams. Absolutely. But like everybody knows Andy. Everybody's very familiar with Dainty and his record at that point. He had only that one loss. They went at it in game 4. Dainty pulling off the win there to bring us to game 5 between Nep and Weighty here. And as long as we don't have something terrible happen here,
yep,
it looks like Nep's going to get the game 5 win and send the Titansmiths on to the next round.
I am going to point out here, Weighty doing the other version of the more speedrunnery version of the diver down, which was a little bit easier because that fire bar not quite is in the way. Meanwhile, SailorNep into the Ganon fight. Uses a potion. Again, already on phase 3 though.
Yeah, very quick fight here. Having those silvers will make this last phase go pretty quick here. Getting very close to the end here. As Weighty takes down our blind fight. Oh, very close for Nep. It's a double. And there it is. And she should be good to go. Just needs to press up. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner in Game 5. It's SailorNep and 2019 Titansmiths of 2019. Moving on to face Error 216 in the next round. Nep's official time will be 1:42.16 on racetime.gg. Get those GGs in chat, everybody. This seed was kind of mean, but she did an excellent job of navigating it.
Yeah, I think all seeds have their mean streaks in them.
Absolutely. And of course, we're going to keep cheering on Weighty here, who's probably going to keep on trucking.
He's going to keep on keeping on.
Might as well,
All right, it looks like we do have SailorNep joining us. Congratulations, pulling out that victory for your team.
Thank you. I was definitely a bit worried for a while because there were so many little isolated checks that just happened as a natural result of my route. Not even mistakes, but you can't know when certain keys are going to show up. So, so I was like, do I need to go back to Hera? But I decided I'll go TR first, and then with everything I got, I'm like, I'm gonna check the stuff that's easy and swamped, and then I'm going to that tree.
Yeah, so we knew that it had to be the pod big key because on WeityWords' side, he went to the back of Thieves Town with that, got the Thieves Town small key, and the Ice Palace big key was sitting in there. And so you had a 50-50 shot.
Yeah, but a lot of, I just have to say, as we were watching this race, we were noticing just really efficient, educated decision making on your routing choices, and I think that really was the what made a difference here. Not that Weighty didn't have some good routing choices, but he got a few items into the mix there that kind of may have pulled him in another direction for a little bit.
Yeah, I was feeling a little bad kind of early in the seed when I decided to go to Agena, and then the book was there because I generally don't walk over and view the desert ledge, especially in the Randomizer, because it generates all that extra lag and I don't like it. But I thought, I can't let that get to me. I shouldn't feel super behind because of that, because I found in the Eastern Palace Dark, I found the Desert Small, and even though it didn't have anything, I was like, okay, well maybe someone burns a trip later. There are plenty of ways to imagine where this isn't that big a deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you missed out on a Trinex in the back of Desert.
Oh, really?
I forget what he dropped, but it wasn't anything useful.
Yeah, didn't really drop much.
Oh, I thought about going back there, but I was like, every time I thought about going somewhere that would take a while, it was just, I had too many more appealing, faster, denser spots to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and fortunately for you, and unfortunately for Weighty, none of those locations that you skipped by necessity turned out to be anything for him to grab to give him any kind of advantage. And then the big play is you going into pod early. What made you go in there with, what would you have, like 3 keys and no big key?
Yeah, 3 keys, no big key. The main reason I went there is because it was by far the densest spot, and what I considered doing Ice Palace before that. Mm-hmm. It was kind of a toss-up for me. I'm like, if the Cane of Samaria is in pod, I'm really going to be kicking myself.
Yeah.
And I think that was what pushed me over the edge there.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because even then I didn't have the Ice Palace big key, so while I could technically get to the boss, it still wasn't in logic, so I was looking at only 6 in logical checks versus a lot.
No, they weren't all in logic, because only 3 keys, but definitely a good number of them are, right? So
yes.
I don't know if it's 6, but it's whatever number it is, it's more.
Yeah, and I guess also with the lack of the Ice Palace big key, the remote possibility of the big chest as well being out there, I wanted to put off just a little longer, because a double dip into pod hurts a lot less than one into Ice Palace.
Well, double dips into pod are just like par for the course in Key Sanity.
Yeah.
Double dips into ice to get the big chest, no, that's terrible.
Yeah, you don't want that. So I just thought, this is fine, and it did end up being fine this time. For me, the biggest thing that really just felt bad was it's not like me to mismanage any of my resources in this game, and this time I somehow thought I had Zora money when I didn't.
we were wondering about that.
483 or something, or 493. You were close, but
487. 487 was the number, I
yeah,
believe.
Okay, there we go.
Or like 43, or somewhere around the 480s.
Yeah, I was actually waffling for a while, and should I go back for that? And eventually I made the compromise. If after I finish Ice Palace I haven't found any new progress in Ice Palace, I'm gonna go get that, because if I lose because of that, I'm gonna feel so bad.
Yeah, but now it made it a 50-50 shot that the big key was the one you wanted on Lumberjack instead of a 1/3 shot. So
yeah, that definitely helped things in the long run.
Yeah, I did like the way you routed in general. Doing stuff on path as much as possible, but still banking on it being there on Lumberjack. Especially, I like the way you put that mirror portal just in the right place so you could go back and do. Because I don't believe you did Graveyard Ledge or King's Tomb earlier, so you put that portal right in that good spot so that if it wasn't the big key there, you'd be able to check those right away.
Yes, that was exactly the plan. But I'm glad that I didn't have to, because I didn't have a plan. It was going to be get those checks, and then I'd probably go to Ice Palace and pull the big chest, and then I guess probably Thieves Town at that point, but I would not be feeling good.
Not at all.
And we're just watching on the restream here. Weighty is now into finishing up pod.
Picked up that pod big key and finishing it out.
Yep, just about done. So we'll probably be pulling him in shortly if he would like to talk. Yeah,
we did have a fun time with the intended logic, though, with that Turtle Rock small key sitting there on the swamp boss, because Because those
Yes.
laser bridge checks weren't in logic with your number of keys. So the game wanted you to get the Swamp Palace key out in Mimic Cave in order to go down to Swamp to get the third Turtle Rock key in order to put that in logic. I mean, unless there's a Turtle Rock key sitting in the lava chest. So
Yeah, I was in the spot where I was thinking as soon as I found that TR small on the path in Swamp, I was just grateful that I didn't feel behind enough while in TR that I decided pulling lava chest was a good idea, because I probably would have last location that other CT small.
All right, there were 2 TR keys there because I see you've got 4 and yeah, so it just would have been bad.
Yeah. So with that, I'm going to say GG to WeityWords and Pug Trio, and I'm going to be looking forward to our matches against Air 216 next week, but I'm going to step off for now. Thank you so much for putting on this restream and all the work that goes into that.
Right.
Absolutely.
Congratulations on pulling it out, too.
Yes, congrats.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, congratulations, SailorNep, and thanks for stopping by to chat with us.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.
You too. All right, and we're just finishing up Mothula fight here, obviously.
You know, the worst part about Moth here is you still have spikes. So he gets
right.
so you still miss. There's that other Turtle Rock small key. I didn't see that earlier, but yeah. So we can go finish Turtle Rock now. But from here, probably just gonna could just save and quit. He's got Mirror and Aga killed.
Yep. I think he's just thinking, you know, I'll walk over there. We'll get this taken care of.
I mean, he's got full health this way. If he doesn't.
Yeah, full health. You may as well.
You know, with the race over, he's just trying to finish it out. You know, the amount of time you gain is not that significant.
But I was gonna say, with Weighty, everybody, if you keep cheering him on here, still got the Ganon fight to go. We get him to hopefully finish out strong here. Pug Trio, man, that's, you know, it's got to be a little bit of a heartbreak to take it to Game 5 and to have kind of have things fall short a little bit here. But you know, this is a Invitational League. This is none of these teams are slouches whatsoever when it comes to Rando. They're all really good, and kind of unfortunately, we can only crown one as the champion this year. So everybody else is gonna have to. Yeah, and while we have this, go down. Yeah.
At this moment, I'm seeing a question about whether runners just. I mean, specifically, I'm sure they're referring to SailorNet, but in general, whether runners are feeling ahead or behind, and you never know whether you're ahead or behind. And I think for most runners, they're more likely to feel behind than ahead.
I was gonna say, whenever I've run,
you always think your opponent got right.
The one tournament I ran last time, I thought I was behind in every single match, and I went 3 and 4. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And wait, you just get 2 more arrows in the big pig, and everybody. Get your GGs in chat here for WeityWords. About to finish up this part of the bracket, cross over and get an official finish here. And WeityWords with the finish with the official race time.gg time of 1:53:08. And here we go. I think we'll try and get Weighty in here in just a moment.
Looks like he is going to join us, and GG Weighty. Little rough for you, but definitely a good season for you and your team.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. I was sad when I found the cane in pod.
Yeah, you really were trying to find that big key for pod before heading over there.
Yeah, I mean, I knew where it was, but after I checked Zora and I saw that was the
Yeah.
GT big key,
Yeah.
but yeah, I was avoiding it because I dipped into Mire pretty early and got Mirror and Ice Rod there, I think.
And the
And I
Mire
was-
big key without the cane.
Yeah, exactly. So I was trying to push Mirror and Ice Rod stuff, I guess, a lot more than trying to go to pod because I felt like that was a decent advantage. But turns out the cane wasn't even behind the mirror at all, so
Nope.
you didn't actually even need to double dip.
Yeah, it
Mire.
was the classic. You had the opportunity to check more things because of the order you did things in, and unfortunately lost time because of it.
Yeah, I consciously made the choice to try to put off pod as long as I can, but that just backfired, unfortunately. But that happens.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I believe when SailorNep went in there was three small keys and no big key, and the only thing in there was that cane. But
Yeah.
that cane, with everything, with TR basically having everything you needed.
Yeah, I think at that point I had like two pod keys, and then there's like one on Floating Island, which I was hoping was the Swamp Small, but it was just another pod small.
I know. Yeah, if that had been the Swamp Small, that could have been a big deal. I mean, I assume SailorNep would have checked it afterwards, but she just ignored that key.
Yeah, that's I just like I should have just gone into pod instead of trying to put it off, but yeah, it's just a play that I made that didn't end up. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it was still a really good season for your team in a very tough division, and taking this to 5 games. So
yeah, no, we I think overall, considering how many good people were in our division, I personally am like okay with the results. I mean, it's unfortunate. I'd love to get further because last season we also made playoffs and then lost the first round of playoffs. So I guess that's something we should try to fix for next season.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. It's tough, but like you said, Weighty, this is invitational league. This is very high level play.
Exactly.
Very tough teams. Most of the people I'd say that you would see in a if we did like a 1v1 style tournament like we've done in the past, most of the players that you would expect to see kind of make the playoffs are in this on their team. So it's not easy.
Yeah, and then there are like a lot of people that didn't qualify for playoffs that would also be.
Oh yeah,
right.
There's some really big names that are not in the playoffs right now.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
So, yeah.
Tough competition.
Very tough competition, but I'm glad to see you guys finish out. Hopefully, we'll see you back, Pug Trio back for season 4.
That's the plan, unless something changes. Yeah,
League's
been a blast. It's I love the format and everything of it. So
very glad to hear that, and we're glad to have you guys. So thanks for giving it your best. Each and every one of you on Pug Trio I know it's been great to have you around. I know everybody loves the team. So,
thanks.
Yep.
All right. Anything else you want to add before we close this out?
No, just thanks for commentating and the tracking and the restream, and good luck to 2019 Titan Myths and the rest of the tournament.
Yep. Thank you so much for being here.
Yep, thanks.
Cool. All right. Well, Tracy, I think we'll kind of start to wrap this up a little bit.
Yeah,
but,
I think so.
Very good match. It was a heck of a seeded, and I think we have one more scheduled races.
We are I just tuned. Well, we don't know yet. I just tuned in to the other match. I don't have the sound on, and I cannot tell who's ahead. But it is between Rampant Revenant and Willard J. Bradley, and if Willard wins, then that'll be it for that series. But if Rampant can finish it out, then they'll be the ones moving on, or we'll get the game 5 that you're talking about.
Yes.
So,
possible game 5 on Saturday. We'll see here. It could be a little bit more rando this week.
Yeah, I know we do still have some open races. Actually, there were 2 open races at the same time too. Everybody decided to schedule all at 6:10 for some reason, good time. But we do have one more open race on the schedule, so you can tune in for the Dark Side of the Triforce versus the Black Lotus, W. Garrison versus Shippu. Does not have a channel yet, but I'm pretty certain that they'll get something going for that one.
Great. But yeah, this will be It will be pretty good, but I think we'll probably send everyone over to that for probably the hosts here. As they're starting to wrap things up in that match. So, yeah, Thanks for obviously, Mindful Beast. Thank you for doing our wonderful tracking for us. Much appreciated. Make sure to follow all of our runners today and our tracker, Mindful Beast. Of course, Tracy, thanks for doing co-coms with me.
Oh, absolutely. It was a pleasure, and thank you for joining me as well. You can see the runners' Twitch streams there. But yeah, that'll do it for us. Go ahead and tune into the other match. Watch that one, finish it out, and we'll see you next time.
Absolutely. Remember, someone out there loves you, love you too. Take care, guys.